Hello, soccer fans, Jessica McDonald supporters, USA supporters, and even the French that enjoyed watching the USA gets dismantled 3-1. So, what happened? What did you see? This is what I saw. France was bigger, faster, more athletic, more technical, tactically better. They were better in every aspect of the game. Now, mind you, that's probably the worst the U.S. could play. Hopefully, because they're jet lagged. They've been traveling. They're just in Portugal. They just came together. They had some of the team got stuck on flights. They can make it, and it wasn't the perfect start for them, but it was a good wake up call. And plus, do you really want to win 29 games in a row going into the World Cup? It's nice to start another streak. You don't want to enter the World Cup like 35-0 or 35 unbeaten streak. I mean, eventually it's going to come to an end, especially with the change of lineups all the time. But anyways, this should be a big warning to the youth soccer players out there. You're not going to be the biggest, fastest players. It's going to come to an end. If your technique is not impeccable, you're going to run into a team like France, who has like 7 Africans starting, and then they sub Africans that they're just big, athletic, just monsters, and they're technical. If your technique isn't there, if you can't spin, turn out of pressure, and avoid those monsters, you're in big trouble. Welcome to the men's game, ladies and ladies. The game is changing as freedom expands throughout the world, where the rest of the world decides, you know what, we're going to take care of the women's game like France is right now, England's doing, all these other, different countries are, as they develop their game and decide to we're going to pay attention to women's soccer. They're going to be no different than the men's team. They're going to have a big problem competing. So I saw a more technical side in France than the U.S. team by far. So your whole be fast, be athletic. If you play on those teams where they move the ball out wide, serve it down the line, run, cross it in, and you win 5-0 and you feel good about yourself, you better learn technique, because size matters unless you're technical. The reason Messi survives is because he's technical. You better get technical. And if those players on the field that I watched, the French, they're right, their left back, their center back, their goalkeeper, they're comfortable with the ball. Ours aren't. You have to be master the ball. How dare you represent the red, white, and blue and not be technical with the ball? When did you decide that you're not going to train with the ball every day? When did that not matter? And it doesn't in this country. There needs to be a big push. The girls on the U.S. team paid thousands and thousands of dollars to play for these elite clubs, and they didn't teach them technique. We have a problem in this country. It's huge. And if you're part of a club that's elite and you're number one in your state or whatever it is, and you're big time, and your girls don't have technique, you should be embarrassed. If some of those girls, I'm not going to mention names, some of the women on the national team that couldn't handle the ball and get out of pressure is part of your soccer club, that's your fault for not teaching that since they paid you. We have to change the culture here. We need to get a culture change. It needs to be the thing is, all these other countries can surpass the U.S. so quickly if they just actually recruited and tried, because it's the culture is producing players. It's not the national team or some soccer club that has the best science heart rate monitor program. It's not. It's a culture thing. If we don't embrace the game and teach the game, teach to love the game, we're in big trouble. You know how you get kids to love soccer for a lifetime? They need to be able to handle the ball. It's very simple. You don't like playing soccer if your first touch is always 3-4 feet off your foot and someone comes and crushes you. If you can't embarrass other people with the ball and enjoy doing that, you're going to quit. You're going to choose another sport. That's why we got a lot of multi-sport athletes on the U.S. team. They play multiple sports. Congrats. They're the ones that go home and like, we're going to go play tennis, versus I'm going to play the game, watch a game. We need to indoctrinate our kids to playing. That's what you need to do. We need the best soccer clubs out there. There are none. It must be my club. Anywhere I'm affiliated, I don't focus on tournaments and all these team sessions. I focus on trying to convince these kids to go home and play, develop leagues, play for other teams. I'm trying to convince them to love the game. And I'm doing a pretty darn good job of it. If I had the masses, things would change, but it'll never be that way because I don't have a heart rate monitor program. So anyways, but Jessica McDonald played fantastic. She's more suited to play against the French. It was so much when she got in, she changed the game because she was able to hold the ball. She was able to connect passes. I don't care what time frame that game was. She played a great 10 minutes, and hopefully that catapults her to the next game and be able to put in some more time. But she played fantastic. We needed that. And dang, she could throw on that ball so far. I thought the field was huge until she threw it in, but she can change the game. So we need to play her more. Anyways, that's my report of what I just saw, and I am going to be out of this thing. Jessica's representing Arizona. Hopefully she gets more time. Hopefully she makes that final squad to make the World Cup, and then I'm going to France. And hopefully we don't walk into France until the finals. That'd be brilliant. So anyways, I am out. Thanks for joining me, and have a great weekend.